And here's the instructional video for rolling the hands. All right, now that we have all of the muscles in that forearm soft and the fascial tissue soft and the nervous system soft, now we can actually get into the hand itself. And again, at any time you can roll and work with and do this amazing self-care method with any of these areas, just one at a time, but linking them together is really going to help you increase your results and the effects of this whole process. So what we're going to have Jenna do now is that we're going to start with just kind of a warm-up for the hands. Very simple, very basic, is that she's going to have her hand on the roller, and she can either do both hands together, or again, she can focus one at a time. And we're going to do just a very basic, easy warm-up before we go to our more detailed work. So what Jenna's going to do is just nice and soft. She's going to start her fingers kind of at the top of the roller, and she's just going to roll through the hands. And putting this pressure in through the hands is going to start to stimulate that brain, and when it's being done in a safe way that feels comfortable and good, it's going to encourage that brain to change the motor out, or how hard the muscles are having to contract and protect that hand. So after Jenna were to do 3 or 4 passes, what she could do if she wants to do one side at a time is that she moves one hand to the middle, she puts the other hand on the top, and the key is that it's mostly just the weight of the other hand. She's not pushing hard with her shoulder and smashing that hand into the roller, because again, I don't want to contract in my upper arm or shoulder to try to get more pressure out of the hand. And again, we can always go to the wall if we want to do that a little bit differently. So here's how we're going to do this, is that she's just going to put the weight of her right hand on top of her left hand, and nice and easy, she's just going to roll through the aspect of the roller through there. So now that we have that bottom surface a little more opened up, now we're going to go right to our more detailed work. So what she's going to do is she's going to shift the roller over just a little bit, making sure that the roller stays on her lap here. And now we're going to use the edge of this roller right through here to be able to work through the bottom of the hand to start to really be able to help open up all of these bones so they can move more supplely, and they can really have the coordination and the softness in them to accomplish the tasks that you want to do with this. So where I like to start is I like to start just between the thumb and the index, or the thumb and the pointer finger. So all you're going to do is it's all the same motion that we've been doing so far with this whole forearm work. So she's going to lean into this. This is coming from her leaning forward so that sternum stays over top of her stroke, and she's going to roll through the hand, and she's going to get to the point where she actually rolls that up into the wrist just a little bit. So we're going to show them where that's going. So we're starting right through here, and then this is rolling right through this tissue up onto the wrist. Now we just did all of the work from here up, so we don't have to do that again. So we're really just working from that hand and that fingers in between the thumb and the index finger right up into that wrist, because remember, all of this tissue is connected through here, and we want to kind of link and connect that tissue. So after she's going to do 3 or 4 passes through here, the next thing that she's going to do is she's just going to move the roller over. She's going to do 2 or 3 or 4 passes, 2 or 3, 4 passes, and she's going to work in between all the fingers. And again, if you're a painter, if you're a sculptor, if you're a cross-stitcher, if you're a woodworker, if you're a texter, all of these techniques are really going to have a huge impact on being able to get more coordination and dexterity over your fingers, and give you so much more control over how you're going to be able to use your hand and your fingers. And ultimately, as the body feels more safe and the brain can tell that tissue to soften, that's going to have a huge impact on being able to decrease the brain's story about the pain that's being reported. So arthritis issues, any kind of joint issues within the hand, this is going to be super effective. So as she rolls through here, the big thing that we want to keep in mind is that we want to make sure that the hand stays soft, because if she engages the hand, it's going to contract all of that tissue and kind of kick you out to the surface. So you have to find that balance between being able to push into it just a little bit, but not engage that hand at the same time as you try to work in between each of those fingers. And that's going to be the way that we work the bottom side of the hand. So now we're going to go to one of my favorites. So as a therapist, I do a tremendous amount of work with my patients and with our students, and so this is a great way for me to be able to work the back side of this hand. So all Jenna's going to do is she's just going to pick one of the hands that she wants to work with. So we're going to say it's going to be this left hand. She's going to put the left hand on her lap, and she could even do this on the kitchen table and have control over this as well. So she's going to put the roller on the hand. Her other hand is going to come kind of right on top of where that roller is. And then all she's going to do is she's going to lean and sink into that and roll through that hand. And we're going to do 3 or 4 passes. Depending on where you put the weight, it changes which part of the top of the hand it's working that roller through here. And it feels incredibly good. And so the next thing that she can do from here is she can actually make this much more specific and start working through each of her fingers as well as she works through here. So she could do 2 or 3 passes, and we're going to show you what that looks like. So then she would just spread the fingers kind of out of the way so she can focus on one finger at a time as she works through there. So now you can't necessarily see that as she's doing that, but that's what's happening. So we can see right now she has just the thumb right here, and she's just going to sink and roll through that tissue, and she would do that 2 or 3 times. So many of our patients who have had any kind of hand trauma, or they're having any kind of inflammation or arthritis in the hands, this is going to be a great way to really be able to work through each of the sections of the finger to be able to help have so much more control, dexterity, and ultimately decrease that pain signature.